Hi, and welcome to Coding with Jesse. I'm Jesse Skinner, and today I'm going to be doing stuff with Svelte. I'm not sure exactly what I'll do. I have a bunch of ideas. Sorry for the weird, choppy start. I was trying to figure out why YouTube wouldn't stream, but I think it's working now. Okay. So Svelte is pretty awesome. I had like pretty crazy week since my last stream because I wrote up a little blog post about what I did, and I posted it to dev.to. Let's see if I find it that way. Oh, if I put a slash, it's not going to search. Oh, I know how to find it. Anyway, so I wrote this blog post. Svelte is the most beautiful web framework I've ever seen. And it got crazy popular. And then, here I can show you my dashboard. It got 57,000 views, which like blew my mind. My only other blog post here, I had like 2,600 views, and I thought that was like amazingly successful. I was so happy at that. And here I have like 20 times. And the craziest thing that happened was it went on the front page of Hacker News. I don't know how to find that, but actually if you just Google the title, probably find the Hacker News here. So that was pretty crazy. Now, what was kind of embarrassing though is this happened. It's also on the author's blog. Okay, we've changed that from the dev.to link since the preference here is for original sources. So now I had like a ton of people going to my garbage 1980s blog. So I think one of the things I want to prioritize is reworking this. It's something I've been like very slowly working on for years. So that's something I could do definitely today because I could redo it with Svelte. So I think that's what I'll start with. The other things I thought of doing today are, there's this date picker I use, also from the 80s. It's a jQuery. It's pretty good. It's decent, you know. Date picker. So it's just really old. Like, the most recent update was 3 years ago, and really it's older than that, 7 years ago. So I had the idea to rewrite it with Svelte. I don't know how fun that would be. It might be interesting. Yeah, I should be on YouTube too. I think you go to this link. I think it's working. Let's find out. Yeah, it's working. I don't understand YouTube Live. I'm kind of new to it. Like, if you go to my channel page, it doesn't even... Oh, there. It's under uploads. Okay. It wasn't working before, so I didn't understand any of that. Hey, Mr. Lululus. It's not OBS. No, you got to use something like Restream. That's what I'm using. Restream.io. And then it handles like this chat thing, and down here is... yeah, it has been a long time. This chat thing's from Restream, and whenever I type or whenever anybody types, it like you can set it up to so the bot will like repost. So if people are chatting in both, it'll like synchronize it. So if you're in Twitch chat, you'll see what people are saying in YouTube chat, and vice versa. Dark mode for Chrome or for Firefox, whatever. It's not that important. So yeah, let's do some stuff. The other idea I had is actually working on Svelte itself, but that's not using Svelte. That would be just using JavaScript. I thought I'd work maybe on this issue or feature enhancement where you can specify. So like Svelte uses a class name like svelte dash some hex. And I thought it'd be cool to have the option to customize what that looks like. And there's a open issue for that. So I thought about maybe contributing to Svelte that way. But I think today I'll start off with rewriting my blog using Svelte. So there's a bit of it that's already in React, simple React, not too much to it. But I think it'd be neat to just, like, for the exercise of it, ditch React and rewrite it with Svelte. So let's do that. So as usual, I need to hey, playing with Skizzers, how's it going? I am in Germany, so my time zone is 6 hours earlier. So that's why I'm streaming 6 hours earlier than usual. Yeah, I think it'd be cool to also switch Webpack to Rollup, but I don't know, that might not be a priority. Oh, how does this work? Is this the right? No, it's not the right port. It probably tells me here 8080. So I'm just I love Svelte so much, and I just want reasons to use it. I actually don't do, oh, this is weird. Oh, it's because I have the service worker. Okay. Okay, service worker sucks for caching stuff. I don't know what's going on at all right now. What it is sharing a port. So I can change the port, and then maybe that won't have that problem. -P 3117. Wait, I have it backwards. What do I want to do? 1337. Leet. Does it say port 4321? Is it tricking me? Is that what it was before? What is going on? Oh, I think I have more than one thing going on. That's what it is. I have Webpack dev server, and then I also have a node server. So if I kind of like the roll-up approach. Maybe you can do this with Webpack too, but basically it just rebuilds, and then it triggers, if you use the live reload plugin, it just reloads. Guten Tag, Utsby, how's it going? Always surprised how many of you guys show up when I'm here. The time zone apparently does not matter. You're just watching all hours of the day and night, I assume. And probably when Chris is streaming. I mean, he streams all hours of the day too. Anyway, so where to begin? 9 a.m., yeah. I guess you're probably starting work and all that. It's during the workday still. 9 a.m. would be too early for me to stream. I need this is the middle afternoon is when I have the energy. Oh, it's a holiday? Oh, yeah. That's cool. So let's orient ourselves. Are you interested in watching me switch to Rollup? That's probably kind of boring, but I kind of want to. Maybe I'll just do that. That's how my streams go. I say I'm going to do one of 3 things, and then I do some other 4th thing. Let's install Rollup as a dev dependency. And then let's start making a rollup.config.js. I did this for another project yesterday. Hey, Olympic, how's it going? And it didn't take that long. This one. Depends how much you need to support from how many plugins and stuff you need. Just give me the quick start. So I already have installed globally, I think. Whoop. give me the most boring config. Here we go. I don't need that. Maybe something like that. Okay, so I use export default. And let's say, let's look at my Webpack config as a guide. So entry, I have 2 entries. So the way this works, you have to export an array if you want 2 different builds. This is something that it took me a while to figure out on my own, but now I know it'll be quick. Driving license stuff. Oh, driving license. I was like, thought software license. Oh, cool. I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm in Germany right now, so just enjoying the extremely cold weather that followed the extremely hot weather. I wasn't here for the hot weather. Probably for the best. And I guess the way I have to do this is I could make it make a subfolder. I have it split up all weird. So I have this admin area over here with its own. It's like 2 different applications, I guess. Yeah, right. Exactly. Pizza in the oven. All right. See you later. Have a good lunch or breakfast. Pizza for breakfast? No, you're pizza for lunch, I guess. Well, let's just work on the admin right now, actually, to simplify things. The admin, as you certainly don't remember, is, I don't even know how to get to it. Every time I start working on this project, I have to figure it all out, all over again. So how do I have it set up? I have a server that's running app. So app is here, and that's my Express server. And then it sets up, it does have a /admin. Why didn't that work? Do I need not a slash there? Oh, did I kill the server? Yeah. So the admin is pretty basic. There's no authentication or anything yet. It's just like a CRUD MySQL thing. Some new post. Hello world. Add post. You can edit and you can delete it. So this is what I'm going to work on today. This is a little React thing, and I'm going to switch it over to Svelte for 0 benefit for anybody in the world, except not even me, really. Well, for your benefit and for the entertainment value of getting rid of React. All right. So, oh, I do need that. Oh, not all this stuff. Webpack. So the entry point will be this. The output will be under build. And we can call it, so in this case, admin. I'll make it generic even though it won't work right away, but we'll call it admin.js format iffy, I think. Yeah. So let's see if this works at all. And let's clean up a little bit. So I'm going to delete this public folder. That showed up with when I was doing Gatsby work. I'm going to get rid of this cache too. So like Svelte has its own build thing called Sapper, and that's what I'm going to be using instead of Gatsby, basically. Sapper is kind of like a Next.js for Svelte, and I don't have much more to say about it than that. It kind of eliminates the need to do Gatsby because it also does static rendering. So here's the build. Let's call it .bundle. Let's keep that consistent. And so if I delete admin.bundle, we should see it get rebuilt when I run rollup-c. Nope. Cannot resolve entry module. Admin. Oh, source admin. Now what? Oh yeah, it doesn't know JSX. So that's fine. I mean, I could either put in Babel and everything to support JSX, or just like from this point on ditch using React. So I don't want to like waste my effort. So let's just start. Wait, what's this here? Oh yeah, because I'm doing this little trickery. I don't need to do that anymore, so I'm gonna delete that. Let's just put like a Svelte file in place and then get that working. So instead of doing this, I'm going to do, we're still going to import admin from this, but it's going to be .svelte. And actually, let's just call it admin. And then the way it'll work is, I think you do new admin, and I think it's called root. So some of this we can like still use that. I think it's like that. It might be wrong. So this index.js, I'm going to rename it to be admin.svelte. And let's just, I'm going to just like comment out everything here for reference. And then we'll just put in like, hello world. That's my Svelte component. And now it's kind of just broke everything, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. So that still won't build because I'm going to need a plugin for Svelte. So now I need to install rollup plugin Svelte, I believe it's called. I should do that as a dev dependency. And then in my rollup config, I need to import it. And then put in like plugin Svelte is how it works. So does that build now? No. Did I like break it when I hit Control C? Maybe that's why. Oh, I didn't install Svelte. Should have that. All right, I'll take a moment. Now, what's cool about Svelte is, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, but one thing I love about it is you don't end up with like a svelte.js in the browser. It's really just a compiler. So it outputs vanilla JavaScript. I think this worked. This is the output. And now let's like look at the output. This is all the JavaScript. So it's just for that paragraph, hello world, right? So it's a function that runs. It's like an iffy create fragment. So all it's doing is it has some like internal library that has some helper functions, but you can imagine what it's doing. It's doing document.create element p.text content hello world, inserts it to wherever I told it to. These are all no ops, and then has like a detach destroy method. And then this part of it, which is my other file, and that's all there is to it. So let's see. I don't want to run Webpack. I just want to run the server now. So npm run start server and see if that does anything. Nope. What's wrong? I might have gotten the API wrong. Expected expression. Maybe like the location's wrong. Yeah. So I need to. Oh yeah. So I'm putting it in build. Oh, it didn't put it in build. Where did it put it? I don't see it anywhere. Oh, put it in the root directory. That's wrong. I want it in build, I think. So we'll delete that. And I'll rebuild it. And that's still not, I guess that's not where it goes. Where would it actually go? It's going to go into, well, so everything's like different. And I'm like rethinking the whole architecture because of how it works. So the way I had it set up is there's an index.html in source, but really I guess it belongs now in build. So I'll just put it there. And so, and this will be in the same directory, I guess. Oh, I guess it goes in admin. And then I want the admin bundle to go in there. And that'll be the same directory. And so I actually want it to go into that or something. And now does that work? It's going to be all messed up. I'll have to fix the web server, I guess. Source, yeah. So now I want it to actually serve from build, which we can call public. Why? Because of, I think that's what Sapper's going to want to do. And so I need to modify my web server to serve from public. Oh, I have a config. I think I can show this on stream, but whoa, I'm going to be up sideways for a moment. Yeah, it's just a local config. It's fine. We're going to serve from public. Right, now it's saying internal is not defined. Yeah, it's not. Why isn't it? Why didn't it build in the Svelte stuff? So what is happening? Remember we looked at it and I was like, I said there's this internal and it gets passed in, but it somehow doesn't, it's not in this file. Was there something I had to do? Yeah, let's look at the basic Svelte rollup. I don't think I need really any settings right now. So I'll just check the quick start of building. I think it doesn't actually. Oh, here it is. Or I'll look in like someone else's one. So I don't think I need to do anything there. And then in the actual source, oh, it's target. Maybe that's what I messed up. Do you think that would like mess up the build because I didn't do that? Might have tree shaken it away for some reason. All right, we'll figure it out. What am I looking for here? Target. We'll call the variable target so that I can do that. Try rebuilding it. Oh, maybe some of these, yeah, that's why. Treating module as external dependency. Unresolved dependencies. That kind of makes sense of. Whoop. It's not an external dependency though. It should have been there, nah? Like if I require Svelte internal, there's stuff there. Why didn't it find it? Do I have to be like specific about using node modules? That'd be weird. Let's check in the template. No, there's nothing about that. Maybe the lack of a name messes it up. I can try giving it a name. That's what it was complaining about. That's one of the other errors here. Global variable name. Yeah, let's try that. Maybe that's it. Still weird here. It's a mystery to me. What's on my clipboard? I feel like, oh yeah, source map. We can add that. That's not going to fix anything. So use output globals to specify. It's not a global variable. It should be built in. I'm like kind of stuck right now, but we can figure it out. So let's go back, I guess, to the basic. Like, I know you don't import Svelte if you don't need to. That's something that should be happening in the build step in rollup. But I don't think you have to. Like, this much should be doing it. And it's obviously, like, kind of working. It does build me a file. It's just not including the runtime-ish thing in it. Like, internal. Why? Like, it's just assuming it has access to this internal. Huh. Oh. Yeah. It's all automated that it imports it. Why is it unresolved? That I still am not understanding that. What if I do like import on mount from Svelte, let's say. Unresolved dependencies. Maybe it's something like messed up with my node modules. I don't know, but it could be. And let's review what they are, my dependencies. So I'm not going to use Babel anymore. at all. I'm not going to use preact or react markdown. So I don't need Babel loader, all the stuff. Don't need these loaders or webpack. I'm gonna, like, I should have done that before I installed everything. Shouldn't it be like in my cache or something? I just installed all that stuff. All right. Still says unresolved dependencies. So what does that mean to roll up? Maybe I should be more specific. Is it because I'm not... Do I have to like handle... I don't know, like rollup should be handling all the import stuff. Am I doing some... I'm not using any common JS. So we could look at like this again in this template. Oh, node resolve. I think this is actually the piece that makes it look in node modules, which is weird. Yeah, it's this part. That's a weird thing. Obviously. Threw me off. All right, we're gonna resolve browser true. Does that fix it all? Yes. I have to install that though. Okay. Let's hope for the best. That's better. No output. No output's good. Okay, so let's review what actually it built. Now it has all this stuff. It's still not a lot of stuff. Like the whole thing is 250 lines, not minified. So this is like the runtime. And our code is still in there somewhere. Not even that. This part. So now we have element, which is just document create element. And we're using insert, which is just insert before. Like they're just not really doing anything special. Okay, so let's see if this is running now. Hello world. All right, let's get to work. Should I like commit? This is a cozy place to commit. Right. Let's close all. We are going to focus on refactoring and rewriting code. So what was this doing? Okay, so we can... I was using Bootstrap. All right, fine. If I have to. We'll pretty much copy... We'll bring in as much as we can, which isn't that much. Okay, so we have the... We'll get rid of hello world. We're basically importing an admin template and then putting, wrapping whatever component in it. And it's like, that's how we're doing routing. So at this stage, maybe I should already switch to Sapper because Sapper handles routing and stuff. Probably would be a good idea. Instead of like, I have a router, but yeah, let's just switch to Sapper. So I haven't used Sapper yet. We'll figure it out. I've been reading the docs, or I read it last night. One thing that I'm hesitant on is Sapper's early development is still not at version 1, so I'll probably have to, migrate some of the stuff. But basically, you make a source/routes folder, and then we can look at the Sapper template for a guide. So I'm going to make a routes folder, and that's going to be my pages. I guess I could use it for the admin plus the, it doesn't have to be 2 sites, kind of. I could just do it under 1 now if I use routes. I think that makes sense. Let's try it. So I'm going to make a new folder called routes. I'm going to put in a file called, you're supposed to have error.svelte. We'll just have an H1 that says oops for now. We'll make an index.svelte. That's going to be the home page. Again, I'll just put an H1 for now. And then we can put our routes. So the way this works is you make a folder structure. So I'll have /admin, and then we'll use router as a guide. These are my 3 routes. So under admin, then you would put an index.svelte. You can also do an admin.svelte. What do I prefer? Either way, if I want this structure, then I need to make a folder called posts, and then have add.svelte. So we'll do that. Posts, add.svelte, and also edit is a folder, and then what you do is put ID. It's trippy. Watch this. Where are we? Where's my routes? Okay, so we will put in a folder called edit, and in there we'll do square bracket ID square bracket dot svelte, and it's gonna do this, and it's gonna pass ID as a prop to that component, and that lets me get rid of all this stuff. Like the whole router can be deleted now if all goes well. So we do need to put the stuff where it goes. So I have this edit.js that's going to now be inside ID, edit/id.svelte. It's going to break, but we'll comment it out and migrate it. And add will end up in add.svelte. And then I guess list is this this index.svelte. Or no, I don't have a file for it. It should be admin/index.svelte. But like I said, it could also be just admin.svelte. All right. So I'm going to delete blog bundle because that's also not needed anymore. This index.html we also don't need anymore. I do need this CSS. We'll figure that out later. So then you need a bit more stuff. Client, server, optionally service worker, a template HTML, a static folder. So let's just copy mostly from here. That's your client.js file in source. So client.js can just be that. I wonder if you can do document body. I'll try it. I need to install Sapper app. What else do we need? We need a server. I already have a server, so, but you can do whatever kind of server you want. The only thing you have to do in the server is use, I believe, Sapper middleware. And it has to listen on process.env port. So I have a whole server thing going on, so I don't want to mess it up too much. Hey, Lake DK, how's it going? I'm gonna delete this whole view, at least the posts folder. And let's make server.js. No, make it here. Server.js. I wanted to use the code I've written over here. So how would it be a good way to do that? I'll try to like combine them somehow. Yeah, I have to like wrap my head around how to best to do that. So we want to use Sapper middleware in there somewhere. I guess for the main site, so like here. Static renderer. I'm using Express Static. That's probably fine. I do need it to listen on the not config port, but rather it has to be like this. So I'll put that stuff up here somewhere. I don't know, here. And then it should listen on that port instead of, well, I could do this, I guess. If it's not defined, then we'll use config. I don't know, let's do this. Yes, I should probably have an error callback here. And that might be it. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I guess I don't need this stuff. Might be better, like, I don't know. I don't want to migrate everything. I don't need to. Okay, so what else do we need? Service worker, don't have to do that. You can. Template. That's where we put in these like little tokens, and that's how it all comes together. So template HTML is going to be my, well, I guess we have the homepage one and then an internal one. We could be very generic about it, I suppose. Make it the same somehow. It's not like I'm doing much with it anyway. So let's make a template HTML. And what, so we need a base tag. And we need to put in the head stuff, which means we don't need a title. Styles as well. Then the HTML itself and the scripts. So this is obviously the simplest possible Sapper template. Should be fine. I could even eliminate the white space, because why not? I'll unindent this stuff too, why not? Okay. No, that's wrong. Watch me be indecisive live on the internet. Hey, Creative Girl Codes, I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? I'm working on Svelte and Sapper. Is that it? What do I do? Oh, I need like a package JSON to copy. Package template JSON. I just want to rip the scripts off. I already have scripts, but they're going to be different now because I'm going to use Sapper. Sapper dev, Sapper build, Sapper export, node Sapper build, and then Cypress. I'm not using Cypress right now. Is there anything I want to keep? I'll keep my test for now. I don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. And setup, I will keep. Setup like creates the database. Okay. So almost certainly it'll break, but we will try it anyway. npm dev, npm run dev. Sapper command not found. Okay, npm install global Sapper. Or did I not even install it here? Is it Sapper? They don't even have Sapper installed in the... Oh, here it is. So it's just proper Sapper. Okay. Is that a dev dependency? Yeah, let's do that then. And now? Seems good. Rollup must export a client server service worker object. Okay. If you say so. Export default. Thanks, Avetis back. Client server service worker. There's 3 different builds. Okay, that's weird. Should I just rip off this template one, or should I like figure it out? I guess I might actually need Babel for the server. I'm not sure. All right. We'll just wait, so config comes from Sapper config rollup. Oh, okay. So if you do everything according to like standard Sapper, like, what do you call it? If you do everything the Sapper way, then you can probably copy this and it probably will work. You know what? I'm going to do the whole thing. Is there anything like I'm really doing that is so special that I wouldn't do it the Sapper way? Probably not. That does mean I need to install all this stuff. I guess I can just copy that stuff. Why don't I just copy it from the package template? Merge configs. Merge configs. I'm like, I don't know what that is. What's merge configs? It's like a new package JSON section. It's not. Is it official? Or is it something like interesting happening somewhere? I don't know. I'm just going to copy this section and put it in my, I guess, Babel too. Sure. But we don't need the Webpack stuff. Low budget programmer laptop. I definitely think secondhand laptops are okay. You're just gonna be like closer to the hard drive dying, if you know what I mean. The hard drives last however long. But if you're able to like swap out the hard drive, or if it's not that old, then that would probably be okay. 200 euros sounds not too bad. And honestly, like, you don't need that fast of a laptop to develop. I used like a really super cheap 100 Canadian dollars, that's like 60 euros or something, laptop for a year. And it was fine. It was a little bit slow. The things that make a computer fast for development really is like an SSD hard drive. I think that's more important than a CPU being fast. Depending like what you're doing, you might be okay with not that much RAM, or maybe you need more RAM. Depends honestly what you're doing. If you're just doing web development, having a lightweight laptop isn't that bad, because really you're trying to develop for like phones anyway, for low power devices. So it's fine. Like, really the intensive things is like building your JavaScript or whatever, but you're waiting a few seconds probably for that anyway. So yeah, I think just get something in your budget, and I think that's totally fine. Absolutely. You might be able to squeeze out some performance by running Linux, if that's something that you're comfortable doing or you've done before. That's what I do. I splurged on a gaming laptop after I had that low powered one. But honestly, it's not that big of a difference. And I think the SSD is the biggest bottleneck, like the reading and writing from the hard drive. So even if you have like a fast computer, but you're using a not SSD hard drive, then it's probably going to be a bit slow anyway. Hope that helps. Are you back to work, Creative Girl Codes, or are you still on maternity? Oh, that's a good point, Utsby. And I guess you could get an external keyboard to solve that problem. So I'm just going to drop in these dev dependencies and hope for the best. And dedupe them. And then just run npm install and hope that gets me everything I need. My keyboard is honestly not that amazing, but I'm okay with it. I do have like I have a numpad on my laptop, which is nice. You're working 24/7, yeah, of course you are. Uh-oh. Did I break something? Okay. I thought my client's like telling me the site is down, but here's something less urgent. Refurbished corporate ThinkPads. That's actually what it was. It was a Lenovo refurbished corporate laptop, and a cheap one. So you could try that, Creative Girl Codes, because those are like pretty good. Lenovo ThinkPad refurbished. I think I got it on Newegg, which is Canadian, but I guess there's an American one too. Yeah, you can get, I know you're in France, but just as an example. Like, these are in US dollars. But honestly, you get so much value for like just a few $100s. It's probably a good balance. Like, refurbished is probably better than used, I guess. A T420 X1 carbon, yeah. Yeah, and this one comes with an SSD. So like, seriously, $300. So that's like 200 euros. I think that's a good price point for a development laptop. And it's a made for companies. So it's made to be tough. It's made to be easy to repair. It's made to last a long time. I think it's perfect. I might go back to that next time I buy a laptop. So far, this one's lasting pretty well. What do I need to do? Run dev. Server crashed. Don't have a service worker. And that is a deal breaker? Oh, sure. It's just an example, Creative Girl codes, but like, I'm sure you can find something even from, you know, closer to your, like somewhere from in France or wherever. And save on the shipping. I guess I should make like a service worker.js just to get that error to go away. I don't think that's why it's crashing though. It says, can I find module ... config? And that's coming from something. Do I need like a config folder? I don't think so. I don't think so. It does have a service worker, but it doesn't export anything. Should I just copy the default one? I don't know. Using default service worker scares me. Do I have to export something? It doesn't export anything. How about I just delete it? It didn't fix my issue anyway. Can I find module config? What am I doing wrong? Where's that actually coming from? It's coming from this server? Oh, my server's probably all messed up. Oh, yes, of course. So now it's ... config. .js, whatever. Okay. We'll just like iterate through this. Oh, you know what? It's not ... anything. It's gonna be, because it's copying it into this _sapper, all this stuff. So instead of keeping the config in the root directory, I guess I'll have to move it into my source folder. Not probably exactly what I want to do, but it's fine. Okay, then it's now it's .config, yeah. Thank you, VS Code. Now what? Why didn't it rebuild that? I changed it. Did I change it in the wrong place? Oh, I didn't save. Great. Now I can't find .config. Because it obviously didn't copy it over. Why? How do you get around that? Oh, yeah. So slow. That's too bad. That's your old one, you mean? So you're looking for a new one? How would I like... Why isn't this okay? Should I be using maybe import and then rollup can handle it better? I don't know if that's the reason. You ought to be able to like link in code. Like I'm doing it with these other things and it's not complaining. Oh, maybe it will complain about that. All right, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to fix it, but let's do it. Config from config. Let's see if that like already gets us further somehow. It does. It does. So, okay, I don't need like the controller, do I? What does it do? Oh, it's for the API. I do want that then. Right? Where does this get used? /admin. I guess because the admin has its own API stuff. I'll just leave it. We'll figure it out after. Yeah, let's do this. To be all fancy. Body parser, I guess. I don't know what I'm using it for. And database. Okay. That's all it requires. So does it work now? Probably not. Control admin. From source server. Oh, I gotta go like up to app. I'm probably restructure this. We'll see. Same with this. Up to app. Is it working? Oh, I think it really wants there to be a service worker. Okay. Fine. Maybe it was working already. Okay, so what port is it on? I don't know. I don't know because it's, I don't know. 3000. So let's try that. Nope. Not working. There's also npm run, npm start. Try that. That fails. Okay. Because it didn't build. So we need to npm run build, I guess. See if that works. Apparently. Apparently it worked. And then if we start, it still doesn't find build. Huh? I don't know anymore. Am I in way over my head now? Is it because these things are all commented out? So it just is like all empty files and it's stupid. Well, the homepage should work. Cannot find module Sapper build. It should be, there should be like an index.js in there. There's all these client files in there. I must be missing something with how it's building. So I can look in the, and here's some more, what I'm missing. Do I need a static folder? Maybe that's part of why. Maybe. Or maybe my server's just like wrong, full out wrong. I guess I could try to get it work without all my, without all this stuff. And just try to like, oh, yeah, okay. I'll try to just use the Sapper middleware and nothing else and see if that somehow gets it to work. I don't think so. So is it like, I don't know. Maybe, you know what, I'll do it this way. We'll comment out everything for now. We'll do it the like example way. I'll install serve and polka, whatever those are, and compression. And then we'll just see if that like gets it running and work backwards. Better. At least it says server now. It never said that before. I don't know what this is. And oh, it's the compression thing. I don't know. Mystery to me. Was I not exporting something or? I don't know. This is very mysterious to me. You can also use Express. So let's use, okay, let's take out the compression thing because that seems to be messing it up. Now server's gone. Brilliant. At least I had an error before. Now it's just nothing. I don't know. Why? Hey, Viable. I'm doing Sapper. I'm trying to like make that blog I'm working on. I don't think it's the service worker though. I'm just ignoring. It's just like an empty file so that it doesn't freak out. It's saying my server's broken and then it's telling me, is it because I don't have this installed? I don't think so. Like they don't have it installed, I don't think, in the example template. Do they? No. No. Okay, that didn't make any difference. What is going on? And like the bigger question is why, if I take that out, does it not even like try to make a server? Oh, it's erroring up here. Okay, whatever. Is there anything on port 3000? Nothing. Yeah, this is like annoying and I don't know exactly how to resolve it. Maybe I should just like check out this template, run it, just to like prove to myself it's possible. Okay, it's not possible. Do I have to copy package template to package.json? Okay. Like, this should probably work, right? You would assume. Oh, it's full of errors. Nice. Cannot find module rollup. Okay, let's add that folder to my workspace. Sapper template. It's probably that this is actually, it's some like tool they're using to do this. So I'm gonna mix those in myself and put these in here, I guess. And then like delete this part. Oh, I need to npm install that extra stuff. So that's what it's supposed to do. Great. And mine definitely doesn't do that. So back to mine. What's the difference? Why isn't this like, is it the rollup config maybe is all different? I think I copied it over the same. No? I think so. And pass through. No, I don't think it's a service worker. It's like the server itself. This part's broken. So if I go into mine, this is what it looks like. This is what it's supposed to look like, what you see. And this is what mine does. There's no server. So something's up. Is it that, do I need the .. legacy? Maybe that's why. I'm not doing those though. All right, let's compare package JSONs. I think it's the same. I don't see any big difference. Okay. Maybe I shouldn't have the main. Maybe that's throwing it off for some reason. Because the other one didn't have a, doesn't have a main. That'd be a weird reason, but I'm looking for any differences I can find. Nope. The Sapper is identical as well, but when I make it identical, it has this different error. Oh, maybe it's like the Babel. Maybe I'm missing some Babel config or something like that. I don't see any Babel config though. Travis of all things wouldn't be in there. Cypress doesn't matter. This is like how you would install it, but I think I've basically, okay, Sapper expects to find two directories, source and static. I didn't make a static. Is that why? I don't have static. Let's make static. Could that be it? Yes. Now it says server. Oh no, I guess it did before, but now it's bombing on this thing, which it doesn't in its own, in the template. It's so weird. Maybe I need to... This is like my rebooting the computer technique. I delete node modules and reinstall and hope for the best. Because like my package JSON dependencies are the same now. Or are they? I could like, let's just copy them right over to be sure. The whole thing. Actually, let's first check if that worked. No, too late. All right. Let's make them the same. For sure the same. Can you put comments in a package JSON? I assume not. We'll just say like old. Just to see what like happens. I know I'm gonna need some of that other dependencies, but just to see what happens. I just want to make it like run, and then we'll add back in the stuff we need. Yeah. So it was a dependency issue of some kind. Maybe there was like rollup 112, and I was using like rollup 116. Maybe that's what it was. Mine's too new. I don't know. Does this work? What does it do? Homepage. I call it a success. Do I have /admin? Something. I guess because there's nothing in that file. Okay, what should I do first? I guess get the UI working first. And then we'll fix the API. And like put back in what we think we might need. Because like the more interesting thing to me is refactoring the site. Okay, so routes. What's like a normal way to structure it now? Like, should I have almost nothing in here and then it actually, or should I have like all the components right in there? Well, we'll see. All right, let's start with some kind of admin template, which is basically this HTML that's inside the React component. And I don't need like that wrapper div. That's not important. It's not formatting because I have this syntax. So I need to recreate having posts, which let's just be an empty array for now. And then the way it works is hash each posts as post. And then this is a /each. Otherwise, the syntax is pretty much the same. Yeah, the rest is the same. So does that work? Yeah, great. Not too bad. What else do I need? I guess I need Bootstrap, CSS. But let's try to get this loading part working. All right, so I'll delete what I've copied over basically. Posts is state.post or an empty array. Well, we don't have to necessarily do that. What we could do is, there's a few different ways to do this. First, let's import that from /model/posts, which is now, I'm gonna have to move it around down. So model was in my source /admin/js/model, but we're gonna put it in. We're gonna put it into source, let's say. So then it's just, or from here, up a folder to routes, up a folder. So that's actually correct now. We need to like import on mount because we only want to do this when it mounts. And what we'll do is say on mount. This is kind of like our component did mount, same kind of thing. So we're gonna await get all posts. But what we're gonna do is say, we're gonna make this async. And we're gonna say post equals await get all posts. And actually what we could do instead is, I don't know if it's a good idea, but we could do that. It's really a promise. Then we could await it. And then you could do like a loading thing. But I don't, loading in the middle of a table is a bit weird. Maybe I'll put it out here. And then we get posts and we do the table and then we do /await. And it's gonna put in a catch block for me, which is nice. So I can say error loading posts. Forces you to like be better about that. Okay. So I don't know. It's not working because my API is not even there. Is it hitting the API though? I don't know if this is from me. I don't think so. Get all posts as a jQuery. Oh, I probably don't even have jQuery installed. Yeah, I'm having errors flying around here. Can't find module jQuery. Do I want jQuery for fetching? Probably don't need it. We'll just fetch that and see if that works. What's this ID equals plus ID? Oh, it's casting it. All right, let's try that. Fetch is not defined. And that's because it runs on the server too. So you can do this .fetch, but I don't know. You have to do it inside something. Yeah, you do this like context module and then you do preload. So that's where I actually don't need this model. It can all go in there, probably. I think that'd be appropriate. So how it works is it's basically the same thing. But I'm gonna fetch admin API posts instead of this. And that'll get me posts. Then I think those show up as okay, this is It's like a whole other way of writing an API in the first place. It might be tricky. I could also have it like, I think there's a way to have it client only. How do you do like client start? There might be like context equals client or something. I'm not sure. It's probably better to like do it the right way though, because then I can do server-side rendering. Not that I need it in my admin. But it seems like a good use for it. So let's assume we're going to load something called post.json, which doesn't exist yet. And maybe it's coming actually from there, or I don't know. We have to figure it out. Then I think you don't have to do any of that, actually. And then we don't need the await stuff. Maybe. There's got to be more to it than that. I'm missing something. So the return value, you can return a promise, and then it'll delay rendering until the promise resolves. And that's by doing an async function. It's the same thing, I think. Yeah. So what happens with the result? Where does that go? It's not really telling me. I'm assuming it becomes props. So I guess you still have to define them. You still have to do it like let posts. And then probably export let post. That's what makes something a prop. Does that render? Oops. Each value is undefined. So I can debug. I can just do debug posts. It sort of breaks before that though. Well, I got errors here. Maybe that'll tell me. You're still freaking out about it? No. Post is undefined. So maybe I need to like I probably do need that. Do I need to check if posts? Return post. Well, actually this API endpoint doesn't work. That's probably part of it. Okay. So let's make this work. Easier said than done. Let's look in that example. I don't know if the example project has that stuff. What's Maki? Testing framework. I don't think they're doing any loading in here though, in this example one. Or maybe they are. Maybe in blog. Slug.json. So it's physically loading a JSON file is the point. So we could have like a JSON driven development. JSON driven. Oh, I see. Oh, to like have fake endpoints. Well, I have like an actual API written in Express and with MySQL and everything. So I'm still going to use that because I have like, it's an existing blog with a MySQL database. So I don't necessarily want to like generate a JSON out of that. I think I just want to use the same database and make a different front end to it. So I think we need to like figure that out. Okay, I don't really need this at all necessarily. I'll leave it here for now. Okay, so like what if I did want to hit a specific API endpoint from the client only and not necessarily do server rendering? That's got to be an option. All right, back to the docs. Server-side rendering. I want like the server, normal Express server. You can write the server however you want. Okay, fine. So, and I think all the preload stuff, preloading with fetch. To make AJAX requests for getting data from your server route. On the server, it's a little trickier. You can make HTTP requests, but you must specify an origin, and you don't have access to cookies. So, and I want eventually to make it so you have to be logged in. But this .fetch allows credentials. Note that you need to use session middleware such as Express Session. Okay, I'll deal with that later. But theoretically, what if I have an endpoint? I haven't even set up the endpoint. So let's the endpoint was API/posts like that. So let's get that working. Now I should be able to get my admin controller in there. Okay, so let's start with switching to Express. I don't know, because I don't know if my middleware is going to be compatible with Polka, because I don't know what Polka is. No idea. Anyone? Is it like 100% compatible with Express? Highly performant Express alternative? Okay, so we can try using Polka. I don't see a downside with that necessarily. Fine. So can I import my middleware? Let's see if that runs at least. No. Can I find Module Express? Oh, because they in turn use Express. And I don't have Express installed anymore. All right, let's use Polka, I guess. Kind of weird, but does that get us anywhere? Can I find MySQL 2? So we're going to install MySQL 2. Good. I now need to like use the middleware. And I think there's nothing to that. I do need these lines though. And it might mess up. I'll probably have to change how the admin stuff works. My old backend. There's no like API to my old backend though. The old backend is a PHP site. It rebuilt. It seems fine. Does it just work now? No. So I need to fix, I'm using admin controller, and that's not going to work. I need it to be admin/API, and then I need my admin controller to only do the API part. So like I don't need this. And I should change these to be, I guess that's probably fine. No, I don't know. Yeah, these should be under API. So I'll have to change that stuff. But then none of them will be under API. The whole thing will be under API. I don't remember what this is doing. So it takes a promise, it does some kind of API endpoint, and then it gets a response. If it succeeds, then it redirects to admin. If it fails, then it shows you the error message. Well, this is better, but something is off. Can I do API slash or whatever, admin API post? No. It should be hitting this, but it's not. I think it's because the Sapper middleware is taking priority on that. So I could put it in like a different place, something dumb like that. That might work. No. I don't know. Do I have the /API? What's under there? API homepage? No. I don't think it's it probably isn't a difference between Polka and Express, but it's possible. I could put them under here, like maybe do that instead if admin controller was specific about where, like which endpoints, like say that. Let's comment these out for now. I don't know. Nope. Okay, let's try to like get a really basic middleware to work. Or let's look up Polka middleware. Is it any different? It's the same API. So let's just use let's put one of these things in. Can I do get something? Recres. And then res dot, what do you do? Save something, end. Like, does that work? So is Sapper being like extremely controlling on that? Yeah. Does Sapper middleware need to come first? Like, can I put this there and then it will work? No. And again, if I take that out, it will. Okay, use Sapper with Express middleware. Oh, is it because I'm not calling like next? Maybe that's why. Maybe, I don't know. Nope. I'm already looking at the docs though. Where are they? Base URLs. Yeah, I could do something like that. Like I could have Sapper only run under /admin and then keep the API stuff somewhere else. It's not exactly what I want though. Should call app use Sapper middleware at the end. Yeah. Why wouldn't this, why wouldn't it fall in there if I call that? I'm confused. Could it be like one of these things also messing it up? No. If I take out that whole block, it should work, right? Huh. This use case should definitely work. I just don't understand when. So that'll work, and then the app is under there. Like, if I don't know if this will work. Or admin controller. I don't know. Nope. But let's say I do that dash idea as an example. That should work. Kinda. Hey Gators, how's it going? This this approach isn't super bad, but I don't know why this doesn't work. Oh, then I gotta go like admin API plus. That does work. It seems to be loading. It's doing something. Response send. So it should be response end. Or it's like response JSON. I got a lot of things going on in my mind right now that are very confusing. Oh, wow, that's awesome, Gators. What kind of company? Software, I assume. Like, are you starting an app? Are you trying to start an agency, or? The chunk must be stringer buffer. That's when I called end. Yep. I wonder, like, maybe I should switch to Express just so it would, like, work, maybe. Let's switch to Express. Could that be, like, enough to get it to work, maybe? Oh, let's take that out and see if that works. Okay, we got the home page. We got that page. Do we have this page? No. But I did mess around with it. Okay, yeah, here. Does the admin still work? Yep. Software as a service, cool. Oh, awesome, yeah. Where are you gonna get the domains from? I know you can get like bulk domains through enom, E-N-O-M. Wait. So would admin work? It was like I should have just switched to Express right away because that was the problem. Okay, so I can uncomment these things. It doesn't get any posts, which is, I don't know why that is. But it's at least sending, it's at least working, like, theoretically. So /API homepage it works, I think. Again, it's like kind of broken. We can debug that. Now I know the database has stuff in it. I just don't know. I don't know. It's not like a failing. So it'd be in the post model. Get all. It's super basic query. Oh, GoDaddy reseller. Oh, cool. Yeah, at the start for sure. And you could always switch over. That's really awesome. How much paperwork do you have to go through? Like insurance, probably. Are you incorporating? This is all written before async await. But I kind of wrote it as if it's async await. So let's debug by... Obviously, this is returning an empty, an LLC. Yeah, cool. If I console log post, it should be empty, right? Is it even going in there? Yeah. I guess maybe it is erroring. Yeah. So it's sending the error, but it's like not really useful because it just shows up as an empty object. That's better. Okay. Can we make this async await while we're at it? Maybe it's good if it just bombs. Like maybe Express handles that case. No, then it hangs forever. Request.send error.message. That should work, right? Let's restart the server. Request send is, oh, request, not request. Response. Okay. Query is, what's the equivalent of LLC? A corporation. I do have one. I worked without one for a long time, and then I thought I needed one, and then I made one, and now it's, I think it was a big hassle. I didn't need one at all. There's no benefit whatsoever. I guess the only benefit is you can choose when to pay yourself. So effectively, I pay half my taxes. The corporation has like half the tax rate that I do. So I can pay half my taxes when I earn the money, and then I pay the other half of the taxes when I pay myself the money. So I can, assuming I don't pay myself all the money all the time, which I actually do, I can kind of like shift it around a little bit. Like hold on to it till the next year to put off for a year the taxes I pay, stuff like that. That's the only benefit. Cannot read property query of undefined. So let's figure out what that is. Database is not being found. Or which query is it talking about? So I should also console error the error. Object get all. Ultimately, it's at this line, connection.query. And connection comes from I'm not initializing with the config. That's why it's breaking. That's something I'm doing in this server, but I didn't copy that part over, I don't think. It's not exactly a tax loophole. It's kind of like the point of, it's a different entity, right? So the entity can pay me, like I can work as much as I want and it puts value into the corporation, and then the corporation can pay me whatever I want it to. I can reinvest the money instead of paying myself the money. So this is Restream. So I'm streaming to YouTube as well as Twitch, but I think nobody, it's stopped on YouTube. Classic. I don't know what's wrong with YouTube. Maybe people are watching on YouTube. I just have no idea. Is it really stopped though? and why. Because I had trouble like getting it to work in the first place. Yeah, it did stop. Great. No idea why. Oh well. I'll figure it out one day. So I need to database here. This is the line I need. So if I kill the server, restart it, maybe it works now. Yeah, maybe the whole thing works now. Beautiful. Great. Sort of easy. I'm just looking to see if I need any of this other stuff. Maybe not. Maybe that's all I need. I could try to see if Polka works again, but I won't. Let's just leave it. We'll take out Polka. Using serve for the static stuff, I think is fine. It's so weird that YouTube just stopped. I don't know even how you would debug something like that. All right. So now we can ignore the server. We have this. So we just need to wire up the rest of the Svelte components. Let's ignore this for now. We'll focus on so there was like a template I'm missing. So let's integrate that a little bit. And that's nothing. It's just this class container. So you know what? I'm going to put that into well, I could put it in this template. Would be one option if I want to have it on the front end too, but I don't really want to use Bootstrap on the front end. So how would I put a different template? Well, I guess what I need to do is let's see, we have these routes. I think we kind of, the way it works, we would have to put in here. That's your like one opportunity to have a template. So I'm going to start with it in here. Otherwise, I could, I don't know, I just don't know enough about Sapper to know where else I would put that in. Why is it there twice? It's like server rendering it, and then it also adds it after. I think that's because I need to tell Sapper where it should go. And it's putting it in the body. So it doesn't know about this. That's in client. We'll say body container. Okay. Now it's server rendering it and rehydrating it, which is cool. Let's get it to look right too. So I guess I'll bring Bootstrap into the picture. And a way to do that would be, I think here would be an appropriate place. I don't have it installed. Or I don't know, let's just do like some stupid Bootstrap CDN trick for now. So I don't want to like work on Bootstrap for another 10 minutes. Oh yeah, C17R, that's cool. Yeah, that was a really big deal. That was crazy. Like yeah, I hit the front page of Hacker News. It's like something I've only heard of people doing. Had no intention. I gotta sneeze. No expectation of that happening. Excuse me. Blew my mind. Like, I just wrote like the shortest, most kind of mundane blog post about the stream, just because I was excited about Svelte, and my wife had heard enough, like, so I thought I'd tell other people about it. Did this like little write up. Hits the front page of Hacker News. You never know what's gonna go big. It's crazy. Where am I trying to put this? In template. So kind of here, I guess. Yeah, it's nuts. Rel. Oh, no, it's href. Rel style sheet, href. Something like 60,000 people read that blog post. And I was like kind of scared about being on Hacker News because, people say it's like you just get torn apart. So when I saw there was like 80 comments on there, I was very nervous. Now there's like 200. It was actually pretty nice, very friendly actually, because I was just like, it was like a love letter I wrote, and the entire conversation was about Svelte. Nothing was about me. Nobody cared about me, which is good. You know what I mean? I'm glad that the conversation was about Svelte. Only like one person said that the article was very low information to hype ratio, or hype to information ratio, which it was. It was a hype article. It wasn't a tutorial. So it is what it is. I took no offense to any of the comments, fortunately. It's a weird world, where it's like you have to be scared about getting something popular. I guess it depends on your personality. Hey, Coachy QQ, how's it going? So we got this looking fine. Let's just wire up the rest of the let's refactor these React components and make them not React. So we don't need any of this. This is done now. So this is a Svelte component with Sapper. This part's the Sapper-y part. You would do this different in regular Svelte. But what's nice is this is server rendered now. I don't need the if posts actually. So it's quite simple, right? Couldn't really be more simple. I can do this, but that is nothing to do with Svelte. And actually the way that this works, you can, with Svelte, there's also this template syntax. So you can just do a string. And that should work too. So that's even simpler. To answer my own question of, could it be any simpler? Yes, this is how. I don't know if you can deconstruct here. I wonder. Let me try it. Yes, you can. Unless there's an error and I'm looking at the... No. Yeah, you can do that. Is that simpler? You decide. All right, let's work on a different thing. So let's do edit first. We need to get the post. And the way I was server rendered Svelte, yeah, it's with Sapper. So Sapper's it's still in beta, I guess. But it seems pretty cool. Okay, so I need to import I need to make a new API endpoint for loading a post. Because the way I was doing it is that it would load all the posts and then it would keep like a local store. Could do that too, like Svelte has stores. But I think it would be more appropriate to just copy this and then make like a new endpoint for post / the ID, the prop ID. I need to check the docs of how you get props. Page and session. Page has path, params, query, and params is going to have ID, I think. Oh, damn. Yeah, because it's ID. It's this is where it gets the ID. So it's, I guess we can do it like params equals page. And then params.id. And then the rest, loading edit page is not going to actually happen anymore because it's not like async. I guess what we can do is put that right in there and then return it. Or let's just return post, and then those variables will just become variables. I think I may have to declare them. Not sure. We can play around with that in a minute. So I don't need this wrapper div. And the rest should be probably the same. I think I need to change the class name to class because we're not using React. Default value becomes value. Actually, it's a little different. You can bind value. But that's only if you want it to update, so I don't really need to bind it. It actually submits to the server. So it's not Ajax. Okay. Prettier wants it to be that. Why would it turn greater than, like, why would it turn that entity into that? So this will break when I edit. Undefined. Because this failed, I guess. We could actually just do it the same way that the model used to do it. So it gets the posts, and then we could filter, and I have the code for that. It's maybe not optimal, but we can just do this. Equals page. Shit, I'm in the wrong one. I want the edit one. Equals params.id. Let's just call it back and stop that from happening. Still undefined. Oh, yeah, because it's like, I don't know what it is. Let's console log it on here. Or let's call it post, and then we'll try to access it that way. It broke on something? Yeah, ID's not defined. We get undefined. Yeah, I do need to have those defined, so let's just define them so the errors go away. Oops. It's not working. Now here it's the same thing. Admin API posts. It gets posts that way. Now in this one, what am I doing different? Nothing. So like it should still work. Like let's say I made it really the same. Let's say. And then let's say I did that. We should get posts, right? What's undefined? I don't see any difference. Here, let me copy the actual. Oh, am I not doing context module on the other one or something? Yeah, it's all the same. Okay, let's go hardcore the same. Yeah. I don't get it. It's the exact same thing. What if I have the same contents of the page? That'd be stupid, but let's just see. Yeah, let's copy the whole file and put it in here and see, does that render? Yeah. Does it render? It's the same kind of thing. Like, what's the difference? That's the game we're playing. What's the difference? And we can say post equals post 0, like that. And we could say ID body title. What was the other one? Slug equals post. Let's say. Oh, we don't need parentheses. Well, sounds like my folks are my family's home, so I probably will sign off in a minute. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just the dog. That worked. Okay. So why doesn't this work? Or will it? It probably just will. Let's say post 0. Oh, is it because I was filtering by like a different ID than I should have? Yeah, maybe. Does that still work? Yeah. Does this work? No. Okay, and what about like trying to find it with the find method? Oh, you know, it probably needs to be 2 equal signs, or I need to cast it. That's it. That was what it was. Okay. What we'll do is make it ID. I actually did this in the other code too. So I could make a new API endpoint that actually like queries for the ID, and I probably should do that, but for now I'll do it this way. I could also break this out like that and then do that. I think that should work. And then we should be done. Yeah? No. Maybe? No. Oh, because it's an array? No. Because ID's already been declared. Okay. So we'll call it page ID. Or post ID, rather. Actually, yeah, we already know the ID. We don't need to redeclare it. It's the same ID. Nope. I don't know. I'm going to go back to doing post, and then we'll like deconstruct it here. No, not allowed. Cannot declare props in destructured declaration. Then we have to do it this way. Okay, it works. Good enough. Can I actually edit it? No. Cannot read submit of undefined, and that is inside what? I don't see my code anywhere. It's inside server because server's built. So it's probably inside my controller here where it checks this. Oh, and that's why I had that like body parser. So I do need the body parser stuff. We'll put that in server. I probably will sign off shortly though. But I kind of want to get this working first, if I can. Is that good enough? Yeah, let's try killing it. Restart. Oh, it doesn't like it. Doesn't like body parser, I guess. Mm-hmm. Well, do I need a different oh, do I have it installed? I think so. Do I have to install a different version? Is body parser a cool tool? Oh, it's still growing in popularity. Does that error mean anything? Statuses. I don't see anything like that different. Maybe I need to put it in. I think it'd be from there. Just to like sanity check. If I get rid of those and restart, it should work. Yeah. I guess I don't have to use it as a middleware. I could like parse it in a different way, but that would be weird. I guess I could also probably use it just in the admin controller. Probably. No, it's the same problem. I'm trying to figure out like, so it's trying to load JSON, but because it's going through rollup, maybe I guess like Node.js can handle importing JSON, but rollup can't. Is that why? So I probably need to modify, I probably need to add that JSON thing. That's a plugin. Yeah, me too. That's why I switched to rollup. Not there. It'll be on the server. Possibly here. And I need to import it. Okay, now the family's home, so I'll probably be going now. All right, we'll continue this another day. It's been fun. It's gonna get really loud here. Yeah, really. Yeah. Hi. Son of a bitch. Oh, I'm not exporting a default. I'm not exporting anything. Oh, I see. So is that allowed? Used to be eval. I'm not using eval. Do I have to go all in on maybe that's why. Alright, thanks playing with Skizzers. I just want it to be in a non-erroring state. And then I'll commit it for the day. Still shit in the bed. Just a warning. That's not mine. Yeah, it worked. So I can put it back to how it was. Save post. Great. I can't add a new post. That's my one other thing. Do you think I have time before things get really loud to fix that? And what's with this suddenly... Oh, I guess like whatever body parser I'm using has some kind of eval thing. I don't know. Maybe there's an alternative to body parser. It's funny when you like want to update one thing and then you like change your build process, change every like full architecture of everything. It's worth it, right? All right, last thing I'm going to do before I commit is just copy the get ignore contents. Yeah. Or at least add Sapper to the get ignore. Oh, and the node modules weirdness they do. Okay. I'm already doing that. So just Sapper. I don't have yarn. Cypress. So it's these two. All right. Get status. Surprisingly didn't change that much. Oh yeah, we sure did. And I'll get rm package lock.json. Force it. So now we can commit new migrate from Webpack to Rollup and Sapper and Svelte. Work in progress. It is technically broken. Like, you can't add a post right now. Let's try to do it really quick. For fun. And because it sounds like I have a few minutes. And there's no loading or anything here. So all we have to do is, we don't need the wrapper div. We take this, we stick it in the template format, replace class name with class, replace HTML4 with 4, and set slug becomes a function that we put in a script tag. And instead of doing this, we just can literally set slug. There's no set state nonsense. Why isn't that formatting? What am I doing wrong? Oh, that? Okay. That's it. Did I just do it? Is that all of it? Not this, that's that slug, just that, and then value is actually slug. Instead of on input, it's on colon input. I think that's it. Let's run it. I'll ignore that. Hello world. Yeah, that works. And except it should by default be an empty string, not undefined. Sweet. It works fine, and then if I manually edit it, it's not gonna, like, it'll stay that way for a while. And even if I put space, oh, well, if I put one space, it puts a dash. All right, there's a bit of a bug there, but that's always been there, I guess. Cool. Add a post. There it is. I can edit it and delete it. Yeah, the whole thing basically works. That's awesome. All right, so thanks for watching. I will probably not stream this week again, but probably next week. So thanks for watching, and I don't know how to raid from in here, so I won't. I don't know if anyone's even on yet. It's like 10 in the morning. All right, CSP playing with Skizzers, Viable and Kochi and everyone else that's still here and lurking. And try out Svelte. It's pretty awesome. And I'll see you next time. Cheers.